completed the Blink Dagger.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And if you're an HR fan right now, you're hoping now that Miposhka finally has level 2 Poison Nova, maybe the supports are able to dish out damage, because it almost feels like that's one of the big downsides whenever you do pick this Veno support. Like, I always feel like this has been a hero that requires level 2 ultimate to be a threat in team fights.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Do you think maybe his concern about BKB in this game is like there's overgrowth and primal roar, right? So if you BKB, you just become the perfect target for both of those spells and never get any value out of it. Yeah, I wonder if maybe what he's thinking is something like Skadi into Satanic, right? So like all of a sudden you absorb all the damage, because usually you don't have to worry about damage items when you have a Magnus on your team, because the power gives you so much.
Roshan has fallen.
I'm not really sure what Empire, like this should have been somewhat obvious to Empire, right? Like you check that Vision game. They knew that HR is in this area of the map, so they had to be just like they had to have some suspicions around it. I guess they just didn't feel strong going into a pit engagement right now. Yeah, it is a little bit perplexing. It's not like they should often be getting caught as a group, so it shouldn't be the, oh, they have RP and they have Chrono, that's scary. Like, when you think of the way Empire plays these fights, quick in, find a kill, and when you've got, like, prolonged engagements, they can be very split. Like, you've got the elusiveness of the Void Spirit, Drow can hang back, same for ET, and then you can have the Beast and the Treant that kind of split this fight. It's not like they should be worried about, you know, oh, we're going to get Chrono's 5, for example.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You're playing to survive instead of playing to win.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's kind of that confidence shaker, right? Like you know when you got like that draft that always works for you in
Radiant's
games.
top tower is under attack.
They thought about it. There was a ping coming out. It's like we could. I mean, he has no trees, but they decided to keep him building.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He's role playing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh. I was like, I'm trying to think, like, what are my favorites? So I think like the best heroes that are probably Treant, then I want to say like Wind Ranger, and then maybe like Monkey King and Timbersaw. Yeah, because the cast range like is insane, right? Like it's not small. Heck not. Oh, his death isn't looking so cute. More gruesome. And they're just ignoring this top area. They realize the Empire are just spending way too much time away from their base, so they're just choking out this nice little... What shape is that? Trapezium. There you go. A wonky trapezium. Chrono goes down. Nice Muto having to buy some time. The overgrowth fall up as well. Lightless might live through this if he's lucky. There it is. The Simulate comes out. Able to move away. And once again, James is doing so much work. Yule's coming out. Trying to protect himself. Gets stuck in the Taunt though. The Force Staff isn't going to help Phonic, but he's just about able to get away with the Timber Chain. However, in their base, look at this. They're actually going to be able to find Slash though. He kept the push going. He did force everyone on the side of HR to back off from his own base though, so he'll say that's worthwhile.
Invisibility.
If you get this though, Smiling Knight. Slowed him down, but now the slow's going to come out to Ego. Has the time walk for the BKB used by Smiling Knight, but Ego's starting to start. The Aegis is going to be taken away from him, and now he's in a bit of trouble. Lightless doesn't have a way of locking him down straight. Actually, he has the Yules. The Stomp is going to be there. Yules comes out of the Timber, and the Remnant to try and protect the escape of Smiling Knight will allow him to get out, but Eknar is left behind. They do get rid of that pesky Aegis. It does cost them an ET. James is also stuck right now. Reinforcements are coming. It looks like he's looking for a way out. Phonic helps him with that by getting rid of the trees and helps him find his way back to his fountain in the coffin. Oh, bye-bye. Ego stands his ground for the moment. Needs to be careful. Time walk away, but the Primal Roar is going to come out. There is going to be full stop to get the Timber out of range. Now the Yule's going to be there. Turnaround opportunity. Traps on all of them. The slow is coming out. The dots are actually huge with the AoE effect. Allows them to bring down and get the dieback out of the ET. Lightless is low himself, and now Case Sunny activates the BKB and fights up against the buyback's going to come off the Void Spirit. Ego chasing in. He needs to be giving himself no time walk to work with. It starts up and he's going to be brought down. Looks like they might be able to hold off the back of that kill. It did cost them some big buybacks, but now they can pursue looking for more. Forced up away by King R will be the last maneuver in this fight as Empire do hold their base.
Matriarch with prize.
That should help.
Yeah, ET diebacked, and I think it was the Void Spirit who bought back, and then the Trine as well. So they had a dieback, 2 buybacks, 3 buybacks and a dieback. No, it's a bit of a kill. Oh, it's one of those movies where you know it's a terrible movie when it starts off with the let me show you the end of the movie and then we'll dial back on this. And so we're gonna come back to that moment. He's gonna be walking past the store in downtown New York, and instead of picking up the BKB, he sees a Skadi that looks a bit cuter on him. This is the thing about playing Void Spirit. Everything is just free for you. Yules on each other. We'll start to get him out. It looks like Phonic will live, but this is the problem, right? When you have to rely on Yules as your defensive item against a Void Spirit, it's free setup every 5A for Remnants. The man who roars will not roar. After 50 seconds, he gets found out. And I think you're right. Like, there's this kind of comparative on each side, right? So for Empire, they lack damage. And the thing that is, even though HR are leading, they're controlling the map very well. The thing that's making it hard for them to close out is they, instead of going for maybe a little bit more defensive of choice items, like they finally have the BKB on Ego. Like if they had this before the Skadi, like you mentioned earlier, all of a sudden, that situation where it gets caught in the enemy base isn't as like dire of circumstance as it was.
Under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh.
Radiant's top tower.
Well, see how durable she is. The chrono comes out straight away on top of Lilas instead. He turns around, says Drown Range is a feasible kill right now. Brings it down. Buyback's going to come out instantly. They've already been repelled away from that tier 3. However, now HR going to be the ones repelled away from the base. However, one has been stuck inside. Phonics needs to make his escape and make it quick. He has got the lowest to work with. Timber Chain out. The problem is he hasn't got any mana to work with, so he'll go for the TP out. Will be successful, and they chase after the wrong targets, or do they? Overgrowth comes out to Kaysani. He'll be the casualty, but that is a big buyback to defend your base again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's that mag factor, right? Yeah, this is the golden opportunity, right? Like, this is probably the only opportunity you can get to take Roche in the next several minutes. But I like that you highlight that. I think it comes out of the Magnus factor, right? This is why we've seen heroes start to like pick this guy up again. Is it frees you up to not worry about your damage scalability. You can just tank up, you can get stat items, you can build utility, and you know that your damage isn't going to suffer as a result. Even after they nerfed in power, right? Because they changed it so that he gains more and gives less over to his teammates these days.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
I'll take that.
Time is money.
Yeah, it's dove pretty hard. Honestly, this is the thing that I wonder. Maybe these guys are professional rock climbers. This is a hilly load of mountains they're climbing up and down right now. Is that what you do in your spare time? Magnus, there was a steal coming out, but he's starting to start by that axe on the Void Spirit. Now the BKB, Kaysani's still alive. Front row used on the Lightless, and Kaysani's not even dead. And the Chrono will ensure they'll be able to find the kill. Beastmaster's going to go down. Ego needs to back away and be careful because he is running out of magic immunity. Will make his escape to the high ground, but Smiley gets pinged straight away. He says, okay, he has an Aegis, who cares? Kaysani doesn't need any help. He dragged him in the base and said, even if I die, this is going to be the win. This is going to be the moment because there's no buyback on the Drow, no hope in hell of an escape, and he knows it as well. He tries to move away, use the Hurricane Pike, but he won't even get a chance. RNG is on Ego's side. Everything is on HR's side. As Empire only have one person left alive, and you know HR are going to come straight for the throat. It's that moment where you just get the aftermath picture from Empire. Like the Empire Twitter dude just posts a picture of his keyboard and it's just broken buttons everywhere where he's smashing the keyboard, just praying that he can get Hurricane Pike usage in.
Is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks.
This is looking like it might be over. Primer roll on a feast. Lightless gets brought down, and now the chase forward for more. Eknart gets caught out, and that should secure game 1 for HR. And, you know, I want to say like one of the big things that you could see in this game, Parker, was like the Drow dictating terms a lot of times, right? But I think we really got everything put into perspective in that final moment. You mentioned the Magnus who barely survived that.
it's just like, man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know? But you have to step away from it. it's just like, man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know? But you have to step away from it. it's just like, man, you got to have that time where you just like disconnect from the scene, just the race. Like, and it's a race that I've created in my head, you know? But you have to step away from it. just like,
it moves very
man,
far.
you got to have that time where you just like disconnect
Okay, so in the literal sense.
from the scene.
They took it too
just
far because I thought
the
you
race.
thought you just wanted
Like,
Bloodseeker.
and it's a
they
race
was like,
I've created in my
thing is
head,
similar,
you know?
like,
But you have to
Pike
step
has
away
the
from
master
it.
knowledge here. We'll just pick a P up less fast.
I mean, so fair, like you can guys use other ways to find the right one, but they have some tools. They have the witch doctor who can find him with the narrative. That is not the worst. It's a movie that's kind of better than I would say. Yeah, but the thing is like this, how the movie is played in general is you have to pretty quick start. You kind of follow the tempo. So what happens is you can kind of go along finding the field with the ball take the fight to the field before he gets to, and by this you kind of slow him down, so you're further ahead by the time he comes from Bayern and you're the impact won't be as large, and that's kind of how the
HellRaisers fanboys, they're in the chat, they're in my Twitter feed, now they're in my goddamn VoIP calls. All right, well, here, I'll like Empire from this perspective, right? I'll try and justify this. They're gonna have a godly game on James, because like, let's give him credit. Last game, he had some pop-off moments. Tiny in this game it feels like he could actually like set the tempo. Say he gets like a good time on his Blink Dagger, some fresh rotations early. Could he be the one to set the pace for Empire and like set this up for them to cruise on through?
I mean, the thing is, so I think the bottom lane, I feel like, I mean, this is not one of the lanes where you want to be able to slap the shit out of this DK.
See you later, nerds.
Don't want him to be that, you know. We're gonna work on him with the bash and the maledict, and you might need the Tiny to be there a bit of the time. And so if Tiny can't go around making rotations, then I don't know how fast of Blink Dagger he's gonna get to. But yeah, I mean, you know, should he be kind of
See you later, nerds.
be somehow okay-ish on his own for a little bit on the bottom lane, top lane, sorry. Tiny can go mid and make some rotations onto the Nature's Prophet. I think that's something that could set them up for some massive success. With the Storm getting 6, you know, kind of early on, and then Tiny making some rotations, you know, getting Storm and Tiny off to a good game here. I think that's your kind of key to success here.
Yeah.
Those two are the playmakers that you're really looking at. You know, you want to consolidate the DK. He wants to just get his level, casual, whatever, break. It doesn't matter, yada yada. And then it's kind of up to the Storm and the Tiny to dictate the pace of the game. I reckon Peel is going to need quite a bit of time to just farm after having played against this tanking defense.
Oh, uh-oh. Smiling Knight. He's leveled the Doppelganger as well. Can he get up? Just about. However, they can still kill him. Like, this is the easiest
think he's
finish for a
dead.
kill.
30
Yeah.
seconds to
Fine, like, let me just get my little
thing
calls ready.
He was like,
First blood on the
I mean, he
sand
saw them coming,
strikes
you know,
the
saw them from a mile away. The Sanking is not allowed to walk up to you with a stun cast range, stun on you, followed by all these other stuns. Like, he saw them coming, and I'm not sure if he was, you know, like, maybe he was, I don't know if he was tapped out or if the other way or looking somewhere completely
The
different, but
battle begins.
very odd that he actually gets caught up.
I mean, if this was a pub game, I would argue that maybe he saw the enemy's draft and didn't like his chances of winning. But, you know, in this pro setting, it just seems, yeah, he's probably a little bit distracted. I wonder if he's keeping that smile up that's in his name, because not only did you give first blood to your opponent in the lane, also you've been forced to start with Doppelganger.
I mean, he's Smiling Knight, right? So you give him DK, you give him CK Omni, he's fine. But dude, click on that Phantom Lancer picture. That Lancer smiling.
I mean, he ain't, but he's kind of dressed like a knight, right?
I mean, that does not look like a frown turned upside down, you know?
No, maybe if they, like, hang him upside down.
That might be...
Give him the Storm Spirit taunt. There you go. It's actually gonna pressure him a lot as well. Like, he's got reasons to frown because Witch Doctor's still here. It looks like Pushka's finally gonna go top though. Realizes he can't leave Ego alone.
Yeah, I like what James is doing. Kind of dragging the creep. Gonna deny some... Well, deny some. I hope most of these off to his own. Deny XP to Void. And yeah, we already see like Shaklo, he's pushing in with Dave. He did got level 1.
It's a Dragonite line.
Matter that much.
There are some heroes that, you know, for most of us are snooze fest. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of high school players that can make DK look interesting. It's just the start of his game is usually not that.
Quite a bit here. Does not have a Sal flying out to him right now.
Whoopsie.
Prophet does, so for him here. He also did go for the Electric Vortex level 3, which I would imagine you don't necessarily want to do up against this Prophet lane, because I feel like you don't really want to go close. Like, you want to be able to kind of remnant. This guy might know what he's doing.
Oh, he's definitely feeling the pressure right now. Probably shouldn't be tanking the tower, but especially since Kisani's gone for the Blightstone, so like there's a bigger emphasis on getting rid of the Treant army. And that's going to make it harder because he went for that 1-1-1 build.
Struggling to get his bottle here. This part of the laning stage is the, you know, he really needs to get his bottle. Oh, Knight. Hurting him quite a bit here.
You know what this feels like? This feels like one of those, you know, you used to have those people in the pub games, like they pick Zeus and they would just like start with no items and try and go for a bottle. And you just watch them kind of get starved out in the first wave and then not feel like a hero. Like regen wise,
just like Struggle City, basically. And this tiny rotation would be fine if this bottle was already out, because he would be higher HP and they happen. But now the smoke is gonna probably run out. He's gonna be forced to do this.
Okay, Sani needs to really stand his ground because Vortex is dragging him in. Instead, he's just trying to run away. The fairy card trying to save his life. The missed chance though. Now the cast turnaround. Miposhka will force them away. Keeps the Nature's Prophet alive. Lightless should just about be okay. He's got the ball to heal him up a decent amount, but that gank attempt is a fair.
Aye, man, that's gotta hurt so much. Invested that smoke. Yeah, you do force the rotation. That's okay. It wasn't first blood, but you know, a kill on the mid here. You're tactful with it. Gotta sting.
Yeah, and now Miposhka gets the benefit of just having a lively courier in the shape of Kaysani bring his items out. It's not like there's any loss of him not being top as well. Like, it's a Dragon Knight. He's going to do what he's going to do. Ego is going to get the CS that he was going to get whether you're there or not.
Yeah, and right now I'm kind of liking... I think what Empire is going right now is kind of fine. Like, the peel, yeah, he died first blood, but... Okay, he's farming in the bottom lane. Yeah, Shanking's farming a bit too. Like, this is not a peel who feels like he's getting... Yes, he got first blooded, but at this point it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, he's recovering. There is a concern that, like, Funnick, even if you, like, stalemate and you get reasonably similar CS, the Sand King is going to have a lot more presence early on in the game. And I guess the bigger concern I have for Empire is, like, who your pacemaker is going to be. Like, if Lightness doesn't pop off in mid, it's a hero that needs to wait until level 12 to really make plays happen. It almost feels like Slatchlow is the one who has to be kind of the omnipresence for Team Empire in the first, like, 15-minute window. And instead, he might be the one dying. The RNG being favorable, even levels in the Dragon Tail, and it looks like he'll just about get away with this, maybe. Miposhka's right click might be enough with the final hit coming through that Slatchlow will ferry far up and just about live.
Yeah, they tried to set the gank up really nicely. They time dilation, but the DK gets away with it. Yeah, if the storm doesn't get off to this good guard together with Tiny, etc. I think something that could still happen is that gets like, if he keeps just getting to sit here in this lane and get XP, if Void doesn't get too far ahead to the point like where the Void can really bully the DK, then I think it's gonna be the other round. There's gonna be a DK bullying the Void once he gets to his 6, and because we do see Void going for this Midas build. Won't really want to stay here in this. I think that could be a way to let Empire kind of keep playing this game. They're gonna be forced to respond to this DK and kind of just play up there and just be a nuisance and try to buy time for that P.
Yeah, of course they do have a hero that is very good at just instantly showing up and applying that pressure in the Nature's Prophet. The counter argument, of course, is that means that you're not present in the mid lane, and you just might see a situation where you're not trading favorably in terms of tower damage. Okay, LSA gets dodged, and Stumpproof for Funnick try and save the day, but Lightless will be able to get the kill. Funnick has no follow-up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We're gonna get this kill on, you know, kinda meh. The amount of gold you get,
I thank you.
It's like non-existent.
Yeah, they did recently increase it a bit more, but compared to the good old days, say like kind of a year or two ago, it's a kind of trifling comparison. Ooh, James.
Might try to go on the Tiny here.
They can't reach him. He was getting his coconut thrown arm winded up, but it looks like he's spotted out by that ward that Tiny put down, which should be obvious.
He's pulled quite far ahead. Storm here. Kill.
They've got stuns in a few seconds.
So far.
LSA, they have got the Burrow Strike available for the follow-up, which will connect onto 2. Now Tiny needs to be careful himself. They're chasing him with Funnick. Toss back. Whoopsie, that's the wrong one. Instead, he tosses him basically on himself, which means they're going to lose Eknar as well. The tips appropriately come out. That was not the move coming out from James.
No, I actually think it was the Phoenix. The Phoenix started diving in. I think it was fine. I think all he had to do was just stay back on the tower. The Sankey would have tossed into the tower. Yeah, maybe they killed the Tiny, but the Phoenix would get a lot of levels.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Big ouch for Empire there. Heroes in a tower.
That might not be the only AoE. Slatchlow gets caught out as well in the top lane, but the Maledict bashes gone the way of HR. And this is them just making multiple players at the same time in Empire. Now in a situation where if they don't start to actively make their own plays, this map is going to shrink quickly. You can already see HR are the ones who are moving towards mid first.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was mentioning about like the tempo of HR draft. You know, the Prophet comes with so And there's the Sand King, you know, got off to this start with the first blood bottom, went for the early bottle, now it boots bottle, he has arcane. They're taking control, they already took out bottom, they're gonna go back, I think, bottom lane and kind of just try to shrink the map for the PL, take control over the bottom area, then they see fit, and just keep controlling them.
Denied.
And I like Phonic's movements around so far. Like, he's like, if we're mentioning Nature's Prophet as a tempo setter, it's very clear like he's not going for this more I'm just gonna sit in lane and farm all the time Sand King. Even with his Veil build up, like his idea is clearly I want to fight early. I see the Empire's lineup isn't designed to like combat us in the early phases of the game.
And I think what I would like here is I wouldn't have minded if they put, you know, they could put either the Phoenix or maybe the DK up top, just one guy leeching, and then I think you go smoke with the other two, like whether it's the combination of Tiny plus Phoenix, you just smoke up, and I think you should lane and try to get a kill on this Nature's Prophet when he's showing, because you know that they don't have, gonna be down for a little while longer now, but
instead look what's happening top.
Yeah, this is not looking.
He gonna be gone. No way you can get out of this. Nice Wrath of Nature coming out from K-Sunny as well to ensure that the kill occurs. Like,
yeah,
you know, they had the
just...
right idea. Like, you wanted to see that, right? But it almost feels like the timing is off when they're doing that maneuver.
Yeah, I think their timing all along has been a little bit off, like on the rotations and some of the moves. I really want to see the Storm get more active, and whether it's bringing heroes to him or him joining others, I think he has to now be the one who kind of joins the party and tries to fight and happen, because Heal really doesn't want to.
But yeah, he's here. Phonic even gets the rune. He slips up with the courier though. That was going to be his complete fail as well. Phonic needs to actually escape. He's already used the Burrow Strike. Neknar is burning down as well, so they're just going to have to let Sand King go. He is dead.
Haste.
Something, but at the same time, I think the bounty trade-off was favoring R, and so further ahead in turn. Midas, Prophet just keep healing. He's
Dire's top tower
very quick orchids.
Yeah, you already see that Lightless knows he can't race him on this. He's actually going for the heals.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Dire's structures are fortified.
However, this might not be a good choice hanging around like this. They have got the Chrono if they can get close enough. Looks like he's able to move away. And toss away by James to ensure that Mposhi can't hunt him down either.
They failed to deny the tower though. Kind of a big rotation. They still don't really accomplish that much with it. They just gave away the voice, but now they know that he's
Dire's middle tower
anywhere
is
else.
under attack.
It's gonna be, I like this though, it's a quick smoke, or at least kind of leaving the area. While the Void might be kind of stuck there now, he's sitting mid, and there's gonna be...
Yep, Fire Strike through. On the mark, the LSA follow-up. Laguna to shut down the DK almost instantly. The pings are coming out. It looks like they want to try and connect with the Void and look for a bonus kill. Sure, they have got that Chrono. They're still waiting to cast it. And if they won't get a kill, they will at least get a kill on this tier 1 tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, and what's kind of awkward is, what's happening is that Empire, they kind of, with this DK, they keep showing up at towers, and they're just standing there hitting, instead of making these first, where then they are allowed to, afterwards, they stand there and siege a little bit, and maybe even take control of the area where they want to see. What they're doing is they're just walking up there, and there's no vision tower, so they don't coming, and they're just getting caught every time they want to make.
Yeah, they're just that drunk guy hurling names at the bar. He clearly wants to be punched, right? It's like, well, this guy kind of was asking for it. I mean, he said that he could just come here, take our Taz. No. No, we got stupid amounts of stuns. We got stupid amounts of mobility. And you can already see, like, the net worth that HR have at this stage in the game, when you consider that, like, Empire, at least this DK should be able to be setting some sort of pace. It's not there. In fact, he's behind King R in terms of net worth.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, it's not been happening. Not been having a good. It's kind of this thing where, like, we haven't seen Phoenix egg. We haven't really seen Tiny make any patients. I feel like they're not using their hero. They're not really doing anything. I feel like there are options they could do. You know, they could have earlier. They could have made these rotations with just dives in from fog, you slow down Nature's Prophet, which allows Tiny to catch up and, you know, use her spells in combination with can make things happen. But I feel like they're just not, you know, like what I've seen is the Tiny going mid alone, and they just don't have enough damage to kill the Prophet fast. There are counter rotation, things just end up failing, and I feel like they're not bringing the right numbers.
No, I think they're maybe just scared of diving anywhere back now after what occurred bottom. You know, it's this negative reinforcement feeling. And instead, HR, it can just keep getting more positive. They're looking for a big kill because they just got the Orchid completed. What is kind of their oyster at this stage? If you're Empire, you have to know this item is coming up soon. And when you look at the Storm Spirit, it still hasn't quite got the Yules complete yet.
Yeah, just a little bit off. One thing, kind of like the one upside, kind of, is that this PO he's getting close to, but still he's gonna need a lot more than that. I like the fact that he has after. I think that not allowed to buy this item.
Is this Pycat's official no? He's bad. He's slapped him on the nose, say no. Heck no, no,
I mean,
bad bud.
You can understand that he wants to be able to survive some of these sanking units, but I feel like the way that you have to play this, I think you have to play this getting a faster Manta timing and getting to a level where you get to the point where you're able to get out of the Orchids or the Prophet, so the bit push properly. Yes, you're gonna have to worry about the sanking into some of the void, but you get tanky enough and you can make plays with illusion, kind of have your team play with you. I feel like this could barely be something that you...
Boy, what you need is more lives because Tiny's about to lose his Orchid and follow-up bash is sure. There's not going to be any initiation tool coming up from the boss 4 of Empire. I get where you're coming from, right? Like, sometimes it feels good to get the hood because not only does it mean that you're not really killable, so you have that split push option, but you could shock the fights to the distance. But you're so far behind that, honestly, if you can't purge that Orchid, like, Keisani has the option to kill anyone on Empire's side with that Orchid. And they might be able to find it. Ooh, Phonic. Whew.
That's a crazy guess. To be
insanely close.
Really crazy making that stun. I mean, I'm very surprised that he tried that stun.
He missed 100% of the stuns. He's going to shoot cool. And Lightless able to find another kill. So both the supports on the side of HR have been punished. And I like this by Empire. They're now bringing it to their opponent's side of the map. They don't want to feel pressured because so far, really, you could see how HR have started to invade that bottom area and bring the pressure to the Radiant side.
Fortified.
Yeah, and you know, finally we see something out of Empire, right? Like they're making a move with multiple heroes. They're getting 2 support pickoffs, one with a dominating streak going to the Storm, and then they also translate this power. So finally they're making something happen with multiple heroes, and you can see how you know how big the gain is from this. They're buying themselves quite a bit of time here.
And then it feels maybe like HR also getting a little bit too lax. Maybe they should be stacking up a bit harder, or like to try and force these fights. Because Keisani's had this Orchid so far. We've seen him think about many plays, but only really make one with it.
Yeah, and so I mean, I think something that you can see sometimes when you see the, I mean, like these are not the top tier team, but I feel like something that you can notice to some extent is that when these teams, they make a bunch of plays happen, sometimes they get lax for a moment. They don't know what's coming next, and this is something that with the better teams it doesn't happen as often. You can definitely tell.
Oh, it's that case not giving breathing room, and they're trying to make sure that's the case now, but looks like they might get away. The Chrono goes down on the Smile of Night. The Yules will not protect him. The damage should already be done, but the stance fall off ensures he cannot turn around and do any damage to HR. Probably the best target they could find, because of course that is the win condition for Empire. Well, Lightless able to skip away with that haste rune, not friend himself.
Yeah, it's just a thing where, you know, you become relaxed for just a minute or for a very short period of time, and you so much.
We might see Empire lose more heroes here. Stance comes down to James. They've got the Sprout. They'll trap him in. Coconut follow-up is enough to ensure that he is going to die as well. And they're also going to get this tier 1 tower. And I like that you bring that up, right? It's like sometimes it's complacency. The other thing that we see from a lot of these teams is this kind of momentum, and then get too cocky, lose one big fight. And really what kind of shows you like the high caliber team is how quickly they recover from that slip up, right? And it does feel like HR right now are doing everything they can to recover from that slip up. Not enough to kill the DK in the mid, but they are clearly setting the pace all of a sudden 1 minute later.
Yeah, at least a good decision there from Shaklo, recognizing out there. But I was gonna say the one thing I feel like is kind of happening is like Empire, what's happening is they're losing a lot of engagements, and so it seems though as if their mentality becomes, okay, we can't fight, so we can spread out and farm and until we get strong enough. But like it's the complete opposite, I think, of what they need to do. I think they need more grouped up. They need to play in bigger numbers, and also they need to ask for less. You know, trying to play the map, trying to be too efficient at this point, and I don't think that they're allowed to try to be this efficient. I think play together, you know, like get what they can. They should understand that they do have this PL, and he is the boss of this game. You know, at some point this PL will be, because you see Void, he's going for Maelstrom, and I mean, sooner or later in this game, if PL gets too hard Butterfly, this PL is unkillable. You know, he should be just end all be all. So they don't need to ask for too much. They just pain and not, you know, let the game snowball out of control, and just try to make some plays and make HR play the map and play the game so that you can keep buying time.
Is this the like? I feel this is the trap of the Storm Spirit pick, right? It's like whenever we see this hero, you know, it's bigged up, it can do so much in the game, and it kind of takes this, well, this is my game to make things happen role in the team. But as you say, they have got this PL, they have got this kind of be all end all carry for the late game situation. But it feels like, as you said, they're trying to make sure that Storm and PL have room to flex their farming muscles. And instead, DK, well, he gets caught flexing and he ain't gonna like the outcome of it. The HellRaisers gonna save his life. Raph Nature used the Chrono Fall onto the Phoenix alone, but by getting rid of that bird, it means the Empire can no longer fight. And James will be the last casualty of war here. Won't be the last building to fall, because HR can now look to hit onto this tier 2.
Yeah, they also forced from the store there. There's this the kind of the perimeter is already set up by HR, and they're already lurked. You can see Phonic, I think, what he's... Or I really enjoy what...
Oh, here he goes.
Basically just rotating from hero to hero. And, you know, as soon as one thing happens, like, yeah, you see some this Void, but they're already shifting.
Radiant's bottom tower
and we see Phonic making a lot of these initiations. He's already on the ball, and, you know, like, this may be one of those things where you can tell that, you know, this guy,
I'll dig that.
Up there, you know, the best of him, and his mentality of, like, it's like a killer instinct, right?
Yeah.
And you want to keep going for the next thing constantly. So it's like you don't sit back and celebrate, oh yeah, we killed the Storm, you know, no. Oh, going Roche and Roche, go and hit them first, right? This constant thing where you keep thinking about the next move.
No,
and I feel like you can see that in him.
Yeah, it's that kind of case. Like, I think people have been harping on it a little bit recently, is until the HR roster, Phonic joining it kind of felt like well, where's Phonic been? Like, he's been kind of lurking around open qualifier teams, and sometimes...
I mean, he was a Moon Lord, right?
Second? Yeah.
He was a Moon Lord, right? For a while?
Yeah, he's just like, he's not really been on the radar for people.
No, but wasn't he was the Moon Lord, well, right?
Yeah.
And did his thing with the stuff, and then we were kind of... maybe we got a little intimidated by the Moon Lord. He was cast out, and now he's back.
Oh, okay, and here he is again. Jonas, he's back to stay, and he jumps straight in on 2. They dangle him and poke so perfectly. Tiny has to buy back instantly. BKB on Kisani means he's not a target. Schlaxo's gonna go down instead. He's dead. Eknar hasn't even used that egg yet. Phonic still hunting. He can smell blood in the water, and this shark wants to fight, but it's actually gonna be a bite coming out from Empire. They take a chomp out of HR in the shape of Lina. And Lightless, oh boy, we've all been here before. But Phonic, he's been here too many times. This man has been on point time and time again with these stuns. Finds the additional kill, and once again wins the fight for his team.
Yeah, you can see even like from the pings there, and even from the tip that teammates are recognized. Like right now in this game, yeah, the Prophet and the have. Well, you have guy. He's tell that he's kind of dictating the pace of this game, and it shows that.
Yeah, it's like, I think one of their kind of classic advantages is usually the best players are the ones that have lost the most, right? It's like, it sounds weird to be like, wait, what? But how can you be the best player? How can you win so much if you lost so much? It's like, it's the fact that you learn so much more from defeat. You learn so much from playing better players. And like, Phonic has been that guy right now who's like proving that a lot of commitment, constant commitment, has kind of allowed him to hone that skill. And he proves why, you know, sure, this guy isn't winning TI anytime soon, because this is, well, obviously they didn't make it to the Immortal League. But when you put him down with these tier 2 teams, he instantly shows you how easy it is to just manipulate them and play the game. And he goes again. There's no follow-up this time, or is there? There's a yours, LSA, on mark, and he used the dive as well. Oh, man. Do we have to keep... I feel like we have to keep bigging him up, Pycat. We were just saying how amazing he is. He goes, finds another kill, then another one, then another one. It's almost like he can hear us, and he likes having his ego stroke.
I think it's just the idea of, you know, looking for this thing, and I also think to some extent are making it. I have to say, like the way Empire are playing this, not to my liking.
No,
they're kind of splitting up way too much. They're just, you know, it feels like they're not
willing to fight. Like that's the most baffling part.
Yeah, and they're not paying attention, it seems. They're just getting caught, and then like a few seconds later, they're getting caught, you know, like right next to where they died. I'm just... like they're making it way too easy. It's hard to do these.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
That said, I like, you know, saying that at this point, Empire have, you know, an amazing amount of tools, fight back and do what you want, but the way the game started, it was not terrible for the 5-6 minutes. I think they had chances. Like they're not really taking.
No, it's almost like just giving too much respect. Like they're kind of not understanding that, yes, HR are substantially ahead, 14,000 net worth, but there's still exposable like weaknesses in their draft, especially this combo of the Lina and the Witch Doctor. Like if you eliminate them, they should be easy kills. You remove a lot of the control that is allowing HR to run over these fights.
No, definitely, and that's where, you know, if you go further on into the game, the way I want to see them take fights is
not like this.
On the field.
You smell that? That's more blood in the water. That's that PL. That's your win condition as Team Empire. Now flop on the floor dead for 50 seconds, and all you can do is just stare at HR as the long siege is about to begin.
Yeah, no, what I was saying is like kind of what I wanted from this the Empire lineup, you know, like kind of 10 minutes.
Oh god. It just doesn't stop.
I can't finish my thought, you know.
No, because
like,
they're not. Fun, it won't stop. Like, can you just please stop murdering for a second?
Blink's down is gonna be up in 1 second, and we're just gonna have another
more
go.
murder. Yep, here we go. Straight through. LA side slow. How's that blink dagger serving you?
Yeah, but so what I was trying to get to is, you know, they had these moments where I think the PL got defused. They had this Phoenix egg. You kind of want them to just run in with Storm, Tiny, and DK at the same time, and PL, and then just egg there. You know, like take that fight. Go in. You're gonna lose some, you're gonna win some, and hopefully you come out kind of on top. But they never really mustered that, and maybe they need a Phonic type player on their own. Kind of gets the ball rolling. This was not pretty.